Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm. My name is Winback, and on today's episode we're switching over to everybody's favorite Zen hero. His name is Nazeebo. He's very calming to play. The team comps today are going to be Nazeebo, Butcher, Genji, Gazlo, and Mate versus Alarak, Varian, Kilthos, Nova, and Diva. And that being said, remember, it's YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe your heart out if you feel like it, and let's talk about this game. Nazeebo is, by and large, considered the most scaling character in the entire game. Nazeebo requires so much attention to his trait that the rest of the game is basically unimportant until level 20, because you have to have your trait stacked by that time, or you're going to be wasting the character entirely. If we are at all... well, if we're being a little bit hyperbolic, I apologize, but I think this character is pretty much useless unless you get stacked and you make it to 20. I know that's hard to swallow, but I'm pretty sure that's just how it works. Oh no, there's a Nova here. Oh no, the Nova and Kilthos ganks. Okay, well, we hit him with the spiders, so see you later. And it looks like some minions are going to take out the Nova for us. My god, the connections that I have when I play Nazeebo. The entire map just wants to help me. It's really great. Truly. Also, I think one of the players on the enemy team was giving me shit in a previous game, so you might see some extra BM coming through because I hate playing with toxic bad people, and playing against them really makes me feel super good. Anyway, back to Nazeebo himself. Our abilities down here in the bottom left hand corner, we're going to be Q, corpse spiders. I know, that's a mouthful. Hurl a jar of spiders that deal 56 damage. The pot itself deals 56 damage. If it hits at least one enemy, it's going to create 3 corpse spiders that attack for 44 damage, and they attack quick. But they last for 4 seconds. Now, spiders, since there's 3 of them, they're doing 44 damage. That's roughly 130-ish damage per attack from all 3 of them. It's pretty good. And it is going to be the main form of damage with Nazeebo that's not dot related, right? Our W is Zombie Wall. I know everyone knows what this ability is. There's really no getting around just how easy it is to explain. You put a circle of zombies up around an area. If there's people in it, they're stuck unless they killed the zombies. But if... oh my god, is there... are you trying to steal a camp? Oh, my tank is down. My Gazlo has arrived. We've got a Nova kill. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry, mate. It's okay. We got the camp. Still got... yes, you're welcome. That's how we do it. Okay. Now, back to where we were. The zombie wall. There's no other real explanation to it. It's zombies. They pop up. They slap things. They poison them. And then they go down. Our E is Plague of Toads. Create a wave of 3 toads that explode on contact, dealing 151 damage over 6 seconds. This effect stacks. So, there's 3 toads. There's 2 charges. If someone is in your face with Nazeebo, I'm farming a Jopur Oka. I love it. He's no longer farming. Here we are. Genji looks like he's pretty rough. Yeah. Never mind. Okay, yeah. Back to the toads, though. So, 3 toads, 151 damage each over 6 seconds. If we manage to hit all 3 toads, that is 453 damage over 6 seconds. We have 2 charges of that. If we hit 6 toads, that damage is doubled. You can see how good that ability is. It's not, I mean, it's a ranged ability at the end of the day, but I think it is perfectly capable of making Nazeebo a melee character, or at least able to compete with people in melee range. So if you got like a tank running you down in the face, you just throw 3 toads at them directly onto them when they're in melee range, and then you do it again. And suddenly they've got this basically 30% dot on their health bar because toads hate tanks and melee characters. Are we going to get that, Nova? It's a lot of spiders. Nope, she got away. Anyway, our trait is going to be called Voodoo Ritual. Nazeebo's basic attacks and abilities poison non-heroic enemies, causing them to take 88 additional damage over 6 seconds. If a minion dies while poisoned by Voodoo Ritual, Nazeebo permanently gains 6 health and 1 mana. That is going to be the reason that Nazeebo scales so late into the end of the game. Now, it's a permanent quest. It's going to be going on the entire time you play the character. I think Nova definitely, she caught me on the rotation. But Varian thought he was going to get something out of that as well, and definitely wasn't expecting the zombie wall to catch him directly under the fort and kill him. Yes. Nazeebo is a completely fucking meme character on top of everything else that he does, but you will never not have fun playing Nazeebo, I guarantee you. The enemy team really just throwing kills at us. I guess it's... who knows? I don't know what their thought process is. I'll take it, though. Every little bit of XP counts. We're at 57 stacks on our quest at the moment, and that's only going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. So, with Nazeebo, normally I like to build Zombie Wall. Zombie Wall, Thing of the Deep at 1, getting that range, making the Zombie Wall really freak people the fuck out and then kill them with the amount of damage that you can do with it. But this game, I decided instead to go spiders, which I think may end up being more consistent, and it will be doing much more damage in the long run. I'm also going to pass up the Ravenous Spirit, which is something I'm not super in love with, but Gargantuan is an amazing ult, and I think it deserves more credit, so we're just going to pick it up, see what we can do with it, and it is ultimately going to be very helpful on the shrine and for pushing. The enemy team's still hard pushing down in the bottom lane, so I guess I just keep going here, getting as many stacks as I can, trying to put the damage on this building. And now we're going to leave, because they're disappearing from the bottom lane. Butcher doing the same thing in the middle lane, not sure why he's doing it there. Probably could have gotten the fort with me if he was up here in the top lane, but he's just going to die instead. That's okay. No pings? Yeah. This is why I don't have chat on in-game. Okay, alright. That's fine. That's fine. Back to the talent build. So, since we're building spiders, level 1 is Widowmakers. This is going to reduce the cost of corpse spiders by 10. So since they're a 50 cost ability, then we're dropping them down to 40. The big thing about this is that after corpse spiders attack heroes 100 times, their attack damage is increased by 30%, and the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. So we're dropping it down to 7, and they're going to be doing 30% more damage, which is nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely. Ooh, okay. Enemy Diva leaving the game. I wonder if she'll be back. I don't notice these things when the game is going on, so my apologies if that degrades the quality of the game in any way, but I feel like this is just a more common occurrence these days. Chromie from the last game, 90% positive she rage quit, but I think Diva may have just disconnected because reasons. Hopefully she comes back. Anyway, so Widowmakers increasing the damage of our spiders by a pretty significant amount. Once the quest is completed, we've been sitting at 98 stacks here for a while because we're focusing on our baseline trait quest. Everybody kind of not realizing that both Nazeebo and Butcher are stacking in the ways that we do. Do we get the interrupt? Didn't manage to get it. Should have queued Alarak first and then put down the Gargantuan, but we're going to nail a huge zombie wall, get the Gargantuan Shockwave on top of that, throw some spiders at Varian. He's going to get killed over in the mud pit. I just don't know. Oh, no, Nova. Nova, I'm so sorry. Not really. I'm glad you're dead. And there you have it. It's just Gargantuan really coming in clutch there. I guess it was more zombie wall than it was Gargantuan, but Gargantuan's still dealing shitloads of damage in the cage, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so our level 4 talent is going to be Big Voodoo. This is never going to change. No matter what you're doing with Nazeebo, Big Voodoo builds so hard into your trait in the late game that it's impossible not to take it. Increase the health and mana bonuses from Voodoo Ritual by 100%. So that's going to double everything that we're getting from our trait, which means we're going to get 12 health, 12 additional health, and then 2 mana for every minion that we kill with our trait on it. So that is going to make Nazeebo an absolute monster in the late game. Okay, that's happening down there. I'm still clearing waves, so if things are happening, I don't really want to be a part of that. I hope my team understands that I have more important things to do. Also, dying in the boss pit doesn't seem like a real good idea to me either. So, anyway, yes, Big Voodoo, 100% have to pick it. Other talents just are not going to be as good. Sorry, don't even do it. Spirit of Arakir is going to be our level 7 talent. If Corpse Spider hits only one enemy, creates 2 additional spiders. Now, this is one talent that I have significant issue with on this character. I think Nova's going to die again. I love it. I love it. So, the conditions required to make this ability, or make this talent useful, are, they're all required. Oh, man, he got exploded. They're all requiring that you aim the ability perfectly. Now, the missile time, the travel time that there is on the jar for your Q, it's pretty slow. So you do have to lead your target incredibly hard, and if they're ever bunched up with the enemy team, or maybe in a minion wave, or next to a building, or anything like that, you have to be so precise to get those extra spiders and that extra damage. And if you don't do that, then the talent is just completely useless. There's nothing else going on other than the ridiculous amount of damage that it does. So, while the damage is absolutely nutty, I do think that the talent is probably the least consistent at the tier because of just how hard it is to, well, not necessarily difficult, but just how goofy the skill shot is on its own, you know? I wish there was something else on the talent to make it useful, but So, like, Dead Rush, Zombie Wall dealing 100% more damage, and the zombies uprooting after it's done. Amazing. Toads of Hugeness, this ability is going to hit people if you're building toads, which is the only time that you're going to take it. But the toads are going to cover such a huge area and get so large that there's no way that they don't come into contact with stuff when you're, like, you know, cutting chokes and controlling areas with the toad build. So the only talent at this tier that has any sort of condition to it is the spider talent, and that in and of itself is why I feel like it's so hard to pick that talent at this tier. Mainly this build, because you just have to be laser precise with your fucking spiders, which is not my favorite thing in the world. Gargantuan, there you have it. We're just going to summon a Gargantuan in an area. He's going to slap people when we hit our R button for the shockwave, and then he's just going to auto-attack things normally. Really, really strong ability for area control. Kind of does whatever the fuck he wants. I'm gonna level with you. He does not punch things that you want him to normally, unless you get him in a cage with the zombie wall with a single other hero, and then he's just going to 100% Ritalin focus on the character in there, slapping them and shockwaving them into oblivion. We have achieved our quest at level 18, 175 stacks down. We just got to make it to level 20 so we can pick up the talent, but we have 186 right now on our baseline quest. We're going to do a little bit of anchoring because it's kind of spooky that we're doing a boss again when we can't see the enemy team on the map. There's Nova, there's Alarak. Gonna ice block through the Alarak combo and then try to run away. We got the boss somehow. I'm actually terrified. 100 health we're dropping down to, but we're gonna make it out. That was 2 people killed. Looks like probably, nope. No, we did make it. Only 2 people killed for that boss that the enemy team is just going to fucking clear on that wall, which is such a bad decision by our team. At 13, you've seen it. It's Ice Block. It's the best ability, well, best defensive ability in the game. 60-second cooldown. We're just going to go into stasis for 3 seconds, blocking all damage, all crowd control, everything going on. Anyway, this is a terrible idea. Again, stop doing it. Everybody on the enemy team is invisible, and I'm not going to help you do it. So, just don't. Fuck. Alright. Now that we've got that out of the way, level 16 is going to be Spider Colony. Corpse Spider attacks against heroes reduce the cooldowns of Zombie Wall and Plague Toads by 0.25 seconds. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily the talent that you want to take when you're building spiders. Soul Harvest is probably better. It's probably better. Oh, quest completed. That's a good feeling. Activate to increase Nazeebo's health and spell power by 7% for each nearby enemy up to a maximum of 35%. Losing our Genji and our Mei right on the wrong time of the game. Got it. Yep. We can't do anything until those 2 are alive, so gotta defend the boss. Butcher and Nazeebo, being the 2 late game stacking characters, obviously know when the time is to go in and not, and that must say something about quick match. Right, but back to the 16 talent. Having more Zombie Wall and more spiders, or more toads, is probably good. But at the same time, I think having the spiders do more damage because of Soul Harvest is probably better. So, probably just a preference thing at this point. But, oh, she didn't. The Zombie Wall, it went down before she, oh no. The Zombie Wall went down after, or before she came out of the mech, so D.Va got away, wasn't able to get trapped in it. Probably a good idea to use the Zombie Wall on her mech when it dies, because I think it's going to take about as much time to just pop up and lock her in, which would be really cool. Gotta think about that in the future. Anyway, we hit level 20, a Vile Infection. After reaching 175 stacks of Voodoo Ritual, it can be applied to heroes, and its damage is increased from 146 to 366 over 4 seconds. That's just our auto attacks. So, that is, how much is that? 146. That's like 2.5 times the amount of damage that it was doing. And that's all going to happen to heroes. Just, I'm sorry, if you need to throw up in your mouth right now, it's okay, because that's ridiculous. But that is the whole reason that Nazeebo is the most monstrous late game carry in the entire game. The only caveat to that is that all of his abilities are kind of tough to land, and you gotta try really hard to be consistent with him. Gonna take down that well with 1 bushel of spiders, and they make sure that the enemy team can't tap up top here. On even levels, for some reason, I don't really understand how the enemy team has been pushing by Nova. Has been pushing up against us so hard, especially when I've been catching all these waves. But I guess it must be Kel'Thas in some form or fashion. Let's see. Let's take a look at the stats. Who's got the most? Yeah, it's got to be Kel'Thas. But anyway, we're going for the death push down the middle lane with the objective. Butcher's got his ult ready. I have got all the damage ready for the enemy team as well. Our Gargantuan is down, but we've got all of our regular abilities, plus our Vile Infection. There's really nothing that the enemy team can do to stop us. I don't know why people are trying to run away from the game-ending push. So, here we are. Sometimes you just gotta ping incessantly until the team gets it, but... Double ice block on the victory screen. Love it. Just true BM, not beam. You know what I mean. Yeah. You're welcome, team. That's how you play Nazeebo. You just do not interact with the enemy team at all until level 20. And then when level 20 happens, you dump so much damage that you've had pent up for the entire game onto them that they just quit. And there you have it. The way that the XP changes and everything have worked, well, we can't really call them XP changes anymore, but the way that XP works nowadays in Heroes of the Storm is pretty ridiculous. It just really boils the entire game down to these big level 20 team fights, especially in uncoordinated settings where you can't get your team to really, commit to taking objectives early or doing things that are going to support you closing the game out quick. So Nazeebo thrives in that environment so hard, it's disgusting. Butcher beat me in experience by 400, and that is an absolute travesty. I do not agree, but whatever. That's pretty insane. Did it really put him? It did. It put him on the board for experience gathered. That's hilarious. That's just hilarious. But combined, the two of us doing 40,000 soak, while the rest of our team some sub 10,000. I mean, seems good. Seems really good. Yeah. Anyway, the build, again, in case you need it, is going to be Widowmaker's Big Voodoo, Spirit of Arakir, Gargantuan, Ice Block, Spider Colony, or Soul Harvest. Both seem really good. Vile Infection at 20, as long as you have the stacks. If you are at 150 stacks or less, you need to not take Vile Infection. I'm going to tell it to you right now. You hold on to that level 20 talent until you have the stacks you need to select it, because if you pick this talent and then don't get the stacks, you don't have a level 20 talent. I know, that's so hard for people to understand, and I don't get it. So, if you're at level 20 and you're down that many stacks, you just don't pick the talent, and then if a big team fight comes up before you have your stacks, you're going to pick your ult upgrade, or you're going to pick Fury of the Storm, I think it is, so that you have a level 20 talent, because something is better than nothing. And in the case of the Gargantuan upgrade, that's really good. You basically have your Gargantuan up permanently. And then the Ravenous Spirit upgrade is huge as well, because it gives you a lot of extra damage on that ability. But do not ever pick Vile Infection if you are more than 1 or 2 waves away from completing it, if you haven't completed it already. If you're doing this right, if you're playing the character correctly, you should be done just fine, and you can pick it without hesitation. But my God, the number of Nazeebos I see picking this with 113 stacks or lower. Imagine that. Imagine being lower than 100 stacks and still picking this talent. Don't do it. You're making everyone upset, and you don't seem to understand why. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what yet, but we're going to make sure it's spicy. I'll see you then.